Pew 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 pew. Okay, people, welcome back to another play day. And it's been a while since there's been a traditional play day. You know, where I go through some of my own customs, some easy mashups, some stuff people have sent in, just playing. That's what we need every now and then, is some playing, and it's been far too long. I've done some one-off play days lately, but I don't know if I want to call those play days. They're playing during the day, but it's more of a tutorial type thing. And it's not even that. It's just me, my thought process, and taking way too long to do some weathering or some popping and splitting and part swapping and testing and seeing what's going on. But this is play day. First up, something not quite toy related, but still pretty kick-ass. This is a tumbler from Mad Pixie Laser in 3D on Etsy. It says, here's a little something I hope you will like. I've been a fan for years. I almost sent you this tumbler before Christmas with the Whoosh logo, but you left and I realized just in time that you had your own channel and a Robo logo would be better. And when I first got this out of the box, I thought, oh wait, that's a Cobra logo. Still cool, but Cobra. Then I did more detective work, and look at that, pretty damn sweet. Funny story, it was so close to Christmas that my daughter nearly did the same thing. She got me a custom street sign, and at the last minute, it was like, oh, I better switch that up to Robo Don't Know, and now that's hanging over the door. But this is very cool. I like to drink things. This holds drinks. I will use this. And as always, make sure to check out the links in the description. Next up, something proper that I just outright bought. Here's the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian R46DO. This was Walmart exclusive that wasn't canceled or delayed, or I didn't get asked if I still want it. I wouldn't have pre-ordered the damn thing if I didn't want it. It comes on that new, much improved Astromech body that I've looked at several times, so I didn't feel like it warranted its own review. I looked at it when it was R2 and amazing, and I looked at it when it was R5D4 and still amazing. If you missed out on my playdown on weathering, you can check that out right there. But this is more of the same, just in a different color scheme, a little bit more extra detail. Look at those tampos. I didn't even realize those were there. Same thing there on that side, and there, and there. Ooh. And then of course the sculpt of the dome is new. I said it before, I will buy every damn named and unnamed astromech you want to give me, Hasbro, as long as it's on this new, absolutely, almost. There's always room for improvement, but it's almost perfect. It's got the legs, it's got the ankles or shoulders and wrists. Always tough the first time, but paint on there too. You're spoiling me. There's articulation on his third leg or third arm. Little hard to get at, but these flip open. Then of course the head rotates. There's this tool, this tool, this tool, and this tool. For those, you can either flip these doors open that get... You're making me look bad on camera. There we go. Boom. See those holes? Tools plug right into there. But if you're wanting to store them away, the head pops up and reveals these little slots. And something I found out later, if you turn this to the side, you can pop it all the way out, so it's easier to get at those. Then there's keys. Turn it back to 45, push down, push back forward, slide down. I love it. I absolutely love these new Astromech figures. And now Grief Karga has his Astromech. If you're wondering, these are pretty much the exact same size as the SH Figuarts or the model kits. Like I said, damn near perfect. For some simple kit bashing, here is Joseph. This is a Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Wave 2 Magneto with the long hair, obviously. I'm just pointing out. Hey, I can see he has long hair. On top of a 3-pack Gambit body. This works out because I bought another one of those sets to have another, was Banshee in that set? And then I stole one of the Gambit heads to put on the Mafex figure. I know, blasphemy, but it made it slightly larger and helped it to fit in with the rest of my shelf. Plus Hasbro's photo reel has been on point. Their face paints are spectacular lately. And the thing about this is I do not even care about Joseph. Somebody suggested this in the comments section of my Wave 2 review, and I thought, you know what? I have this body just laying around. I have this extra head. I do feel like the head may be slightly small and or high. It may look better if I get it down slightly. And like I said, I wasn't going to do anything with this anyway, so I might as well take a Dremel to it at some point. Plus, it's another X-Men for the shelf, even though I don't know what happened to Joseph. It was that time I wasn't into comics at all. It wasn't Magneto, right? Even though Magneto was right. Another easy kit bash is this Joker. The head is Medicom Mafex Hush Joker, and then the body is the McFarlane Toys DC Retro New Adventures of Batman Joker. And that looks great, right? Going right onto the shelf. With the leftovers, I was able to make this. I'm just joking. This is actually what I was shooting for. The Hush Joker definitely has a look. It is perfectly Jim Lee, but I just don't care for the overall design of it. Meanwhile, the McFarlane Toys DC Retro New Adventures of Batman Joker head is some childhood nostalgia. Put it on the more articulated Mafex body, and oh, we have something going on here. Some new adventures of this Joker. Yeah, the tie isn't 100% right, and the colors are off compared to this. In fact, is that a separate piece? Oh, maybe I can transplant those. But this is exactly what I was going for. I can't take full credit for this idea. I actually saw it on Twitter months and months and months ago before the McFarlane figures ever came out. It was somebody digitally bashed them together, and I thought, I'm going to try that. It's expensive, but I'm going to mess with this a lot more than I messed with it when it was Hush Joker. Skin tone's not perfect. The white on the Mafex is slightly brighter, but don't care. Look how good that looks. And I already have the McFarlane Toys DC Retro New Adventures of Batman head just waiting for that Medicom Mafex Nightfall Batman. You know I gotta do it. That makes him fall into that astonishing X-Men costume recipe where they take a lot of the classic and modernize it. That's what I feel like when I look at this, and what I think is going to happen when I do this. Speaking of expensive fodder to make one figure, here is my new recovered armored Boba Fett from Mandalorian. This is the Medicom Mafex upper body along with the SH Figuarts lower body, and it was not easy to get together at all. They make the ball joints or the balls on the dumbbells just slightly different on each figure. And why wouldn't they? It's two different companies. They don't have to make it the same as this other company, but it can get frustrating being that close and just trying to get the heat, more heat. My problem with the Mafex was the pants were brown. The sash was brown, and I was going to dye it, but the more I looked over here, I liked the slight thinness of the Figuarts pants that were already black. That had a full skirt piece, a full lower robe, a full kilt going on. So I removed one of those parts and then sliced it in the middle and kind of sliced up here, glued it to the inside of the belt so it would fit. This gives Boba Fett the thickness that I wanted up here, but still streamlined a bit. It doesn't fix the arms from going up further than this, but dang it, I still like the look more up here than the Figuarts had. And I'm still considering shortening the neck. I feel like the helmet floats a little high, that it should sit on the shoulders more. But this is where I'm at. But overall, I love the silhouette. I love the proportions now. I don't love how much I had to spend on both those figures only to tear them up because I tore them up. That midsection was not going together. So Dremel, pull, heat, Dremel, glue Dremel. But here's the biggie. The Mafex recovered armor was big. It was taller than the Mafex Mando, and it was definitely bigger than the SH Figuarts Book of Boba Fett. And that's what I meant about the neck. Get it down just ever so slightly more to be shorter than the Mafex Mando. But it has the thickness he had before going to this look, and the helmet looks like it has a human head under it. So yeah, best of both worlds. A few months ago, I got a care package from Dustin at Cubic 3D Prints, and there it was the new lightsaber blades for Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati. Much better size, much better color. There was also a yellow blade in there that I tried to mix with a Rey hilt I had. And to my surprise, another package showed up. Hey Robo, your Playday review of my items gave me the idea to make this Rey Episode 9 hilt and blade. You mentioned it was something you wish they made, so I figured it was only fitting to make sure you had one. I appreciate that because, man, getting this out of the package, it is amazing looking. Look at those sharp points right there. Plugging in the blade just completes the look. Paired up with the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Episode 9 Rey, and oh, I mean, it was already the best Rey out there. Now, it's perfect. Almost perfect. Again, there's always room for improvement, but you know, shh. This is now my display Rey. Next up, let's take a look at the Cursed Crate from Super Action Stuff. Green blood and guts accessories for action figures. First off, the crate itself is pretty damn nice. That's worth the price of admission alone. Plastic, it's got the dry brush across it, the reds, the yellows, just nice design work. Pop the top off and yep, that's what I'm used to seeing when we open Super Action. There's the golden gloves. We've seen this sculpt several times, and it's nice to have them in this color now. Dang, is there a lot of green in here. There's the throw up with chunks embedded inside the translucent plastic. Goo blaster of some kind. It's shaped like a gun. There's drips to attach to things, and there's, oh, I guess that sticks there. Splat. All kinds of effects. Just kind of gross looking. There's another chunky piece. Green brains. There's a pistol going on. Stuff for the ground. Broccoli. No, it's not broccoli. It attaches to something. Flying through the air. Smaller bullet hits. And I keep making that sound, but that's the sound this set is forcing me to make. Then that. Yeah, it's a lot of green plastic that I could probably... Oh, what's this? Is that the... Oh, yeah, that's the heart being pulled out. Something like that? So yeah, just a cool set. Again, nice crate, lots of effects. Here is a classic Atari Star Wars arcade cabinet. And you can see this at Shadow Moses 112 on Instagram or shadowmoses112.com. He reached out and asked if I would like any of their arcade machines, and of course, I was gonna pick this one. This is the cabinet I remember outside or out in the entryway of my Walmart back in the day. We'd come out from doing the shopping and pass by this, and I would kind of stare at the screen as we walked by. I don't remember ever stopping and playing it. I may have once or twice, but not for any length of time. There's the art on the side, so good. I have that controller that just made me want to reach. In fact, I'm sure I stopped several times and and then the screen was always scrolling something. There's the top design, and then the other side is essentially the same. I don't know if I have any quarters that small. It does come with an alternate screen with TIE fighters on it, but I liked the Star Wars logo. To swap that out, it just kind of pops out. Oh, and spoiler alert, there's LEDs in there. There is a USB cord sticking out the bottom. Let's turn off some of these lights and see what happens here. The camera is set up to full-on bright light, so it's not picking up a lot, but in person, I can see the screen, I can see the Star Wars, and the marquee up here is lighting up too. Oh, I'm scared to go back over there and flip on the lights. What's gonna happen? Of course I've seen this. This is how the Empire trains new pilots. Oh, Casting Cave. How much do I love you? Let me count the ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is the Medicom Mafex Jim Lee Wolverine head, and here is the head I got from Casting Cave. The mask swoopies are more swoopy, there seems to realistic it up a bit, and then the face paint. It's a more subdued, calm Logan, but I kinda like that. He doesn't need to be raging all the time. But if I do need him to Berserker Barrage, there's that head in here too. The mask has this cut in it that I'm unfamiliar with, this point that comes down. I'm not quite sure on the source material there, but it is still a great looking Logan head. Gonna be the same thing for the Hasbro Marvel Legends Thor. Here is the original head. Here's the new Casting Cave head. Brings a touch of realism to it. Again, with the 5 o'clock shadow, that extra paintwork in the hair, the flow of the helmet wings, how they flare out like that. I could probably heat these and get these to do the same thing, but these are just magnificent. Only problem I have now is I need to do a wash and shade up the skin tone of the neck and the arms to make it match. It stands out a bit. It's not so bad when it's not under studio lights and everything, but it's kind of noticeable. I'll have to put in some extra elbow grease. And if I get tired of that look, there's also the bearded look, which I feel like, I need a different body for this one, don't I? Just majestic. That's what these heads are. They are majestic. But it doesn't stop there. Here is the SH Figuarts MCU Hulk that I wasn't using because I'm using the Build-A-Figure with some custom clothes on it. So this was just sitting in a bin. Why not make this my classic comic book Hulk? Now the proportions aren't quite what I picture from back in the day. I feel like this should be thicker to match this design. Still, this is now my comic Hulk. It's tough, it's rough, it's mean, it's lean, it's green. What else can I say? Well, okay, the greens in general could be gamma brighter, but Corey matched the skin tone here to here. This will be rampaging through my comic shelf from now on. I mean, I have several Hulks. Of course, I have the Legends one with the big thickness and everything up in the Avengers. This one will be in my main comic display. Hulk smash. Hey, remember when I threatened to replace my VHS Cyclops that I removed the cell shading on with the 97 X-Men Cyclops? If anybody reminded me that this looks like Conan O'Brien, guess what? The one I got from Corey null and voids that contract. I don't need to replace this because it's now great. The visor kind of has that flat look that we're seeing in 97 on Scott, and it just, well, okay, it doesn't match the animation, but it matches the aesthetic while being dragged into the real world or into the comic book world. Put the dry brushing on the hair up there, a little design work to the yellows, the blue matches up perfectly. This is my Cyclops. And it's Jim Lee! That was probably not the lowest on the totem pole when it came to my favorite Cyclops designs, but as I get better figures and better looks, Jim Lee's just climbing that ladder. It'll still always be Cockrum for me when it comes to Cyclops. Or Astonishing, but this looks damn good. Because Cyclops in 97 is a complete and utter badass. So that helps a lot. That helps me like this design even more. To me, my X-Men. Although Professor X probably has something to say about that. It wasn't until they showed off the retro-carded Snake Eyes in the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified line that I realized that the design pretty much matched Professor X's look from Astonishing X-Men. So I got a Casting Cave Xavier head. I think the neck is Recondo popped onto the Snake Eyes body along with the Marvel Legends MCU wheelchair. I need somebody to do a digital sculpt of the Astonishing X-Men Professor X wheelchair. That big, chunky, almost concrete looking monstrosity. That it didn't last long, right? He got in the truck, ran it over, and then it was into a more regular wheelchair. But this design, I feel like, deserves that specific wheelchair. But this will do me for now. Here is a very nice custom female Mandalorian from Chris at Introphonics. Hey Robo, I just wanted to send this custom Mando inspired by Okoye to you as a token of my appreciation for the years and years, he underlines years and years, that makes me feel kind of old, but that's okay, because I am old, of ever improving content from you. I'm still relatively new to customizing, but have been collecting for a long time. All your Playday videos really get me jazzed about customizing and painting, and it's opened a whole new world to me, so thank you. And that is my favorite thing about this. I love showing off the customs that people send or the stuff I pick up, but if it can show people that they can do it too, that's worth it to me. Totally. But I'll tell you one thing, this does not look like a beginner custom. Oh yeah, I'm opening it. What do you think I wasn't going to? I love that you even incorporated her weapons in some of her design work and put some thought into the packaging of it. I could see the ring weapon behind her head because of the way you taped it in. That's awesome. Oh man, that neck piece on top of the Mandalorian armor, it looks like it was made for it. It incorporates perfectly. Actually, the gold ties into the gold, and the gold, very nice. The jetpack has some gold accents to it. But I love the dry brushing on the undersuit. What do we got with the helmet? Oh man, you know what I like the best about this though? It's not blue. I have so many blue Mandos in there that it makes me happy having a red Mando in the mix. But it also looks great without the helmet. Maybe I'll have her like this. This has just that right amount of Star Wars wear. That silver dry brush on top of everything, or the lighter color of the jumpsuit, the armor pieces. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And something besides Mando pistols? Okay. Yeah, I'm sold. This thing is downright awesome. And then finally I got a big old box from Landspeeder Luke. He'd been threatening it for a while, and I say threatening because when I got the box I thought, okay, good grief, what did you send me? The note says, here is another box of 3D printed fun, all using files from my Patreon in both filament and resin. These all print with no supports and need no paint, so they're ready to go right off the printer. There is, of course, some hexagon stands, and I think out of everything, I say this with complete love, I know a Landspeeder Luke sculpt when I see it. I recognize his work. But when it comes to most folk, I think he's known for his hexagon stands. When he does a collection video or something like that, it's always a pleasure to see the figures stood on the different levels like this. And it's all one print with a bottom. Is that a separate? No, it's printed like that. I'm still in that stage of 3D printing being a magical thing, especially when you come up with your own prints, with your own designs. And ta-da, there it is in the real world. I haven't opened a lot of this because I wanted to save the surprise for being on camera, but this one says Lothcats. And what is, oh my God. Look at that. That is just a fantastic looking Lothcat. And there's another one in here, buried in the foam. Wow, look at that blue. I feel like this one was just for me because of the blue and the white and everything. Those are absolutely stunning. Luke says the Lothcats were painted by the Toxic Collector and sculpted by the Glowing Ghost. I'll have links to their Instagrams in the description. What do we have going on here all taped up? And okay. I know what this is. Look at that. Now my Morgan or my Ahsoka or my Sabine or somebody has a matte ball to hold. Because that does, is it? Yeah, it's just stuck in there with, I hope, it's just blue tack or poster tack. It helps to have done the hand switch with Scarlet Witch to have a more open hand. There we go. Boom. There's this looking all nice that I do believe goes to Sabine. How about I pop the head off first and then put this down over it. And look how layered that looks with the folds and the, yeah. Then we get to the bigger things like, oh, okay. There we go, some Grogu action. Look at the sharp detail to the banner or words or whatever's going around here. Oh man, it's some assembly required. Like this, or like this. I figured it out. But watch this. Did somebody order pizza? That's just nifty. Guillotine's in there. It stays solid. This box just says vape. Oh man, there's lots of parts and pieces in here. I feel like that's possible right there. Oh, I admit defeat. I have to look it up. I mean, what? No, I did it all on my own. I didn't look at the picture from his Instagram. But that is nifty. Pretty damn impressive going all the way up here. For an idea of size, there's Sabine next to it, so fairly tall. And then there's a box marked hollow. Ooh, look at that. Okay, we have tabletop. Oh no, I'm messing it all up already. Ooh, it's an LED. Oh, here's the hexagon tops that he was talking about in the notes. The feet go into here for more troublesome figures. And then there's different stands to go on the hexagons to hold the figure up, or the traffic cone types that slides up the back. Or maybe that's what this is, to go up that way. And this is for bigger things. The point is, there's a lot of options when it comes to the hexagon stands. He's pretty much trialed and errored through a bunch of different designs. Oh, dude, you didn't have to send this. He sent a hologram table, and he sent a hologram Bo-Katan, and then he sent, I guess, a 3 3/4 inch Obi-Wan hologram style, blue translucent plastic. She comes with a translucent helmet where you can see her face through. That's kind of freaky, but cool. You know what that is? I just realized that button comes out the other side where you can push it if you line it up just right. And he's got it to where that's not foot pegs, that's to peg into this piece right here to keep it steady. So I'm guessing if I take this and line it up on the pegs on top, where are we at? On the pegs on top, I said, that I'm able to activate this from the, oh man, you're a genius. I guess this is the Holocom Puck. I don't have any of these figures yet, so I'm just discovering this too. Once again, we're gonna use Sabine as a test subject down by the side. I like that there's a little flicker to the light. I don't know how well that shows up, but it definitely doesn't light up the figure all the way to the top. Oh, in fact, where'd you go? There must be a shut off. I looked at the camera like you can see me, but you can't. And now I can't even find, oh, there we go. How's it look with this one? Oh, that's not bad. Okay, there's some flicker. It's gonna go out. Oh, no. I have this solid chunk Palpatine or Sidious, one or the other, that I've had forever. That was on an old Playday. Find the button while the light's on. Turn the light off real quick. Put this. Look at that. That is much better. The solid blue translucent plastic just carries the light all the way up. Much better. Oh, that was so hologram-like. I'm having way too much fun with this. Lord Robo, what is your command, my master? Go forth and play. Yes, my master. Okay, I think I am going to have to get a hold of some of the Holocom figures. And I have a few more of these, too. Why am I standing here talking in the dark? I may have to try those at some point. But this is too fun. That Holocom feature, looking like a hologram with the flickering and it turns on and it turns off, I really like that. Maybe not for the figures, because there's too much articulation, I guess. And maybe it's too solid, too many breaks. It doesn't work. This totally works. It just, I mean, this is even noticeable with the lights on. How badass does that look? If I didn't know better, I would think that this is a hologram. That just looks damn sweet. And now it's about to flicker off, but I know what I'm going to do for the next 2 hours. And there we go. Any day we get to play is a good damn day. It's good for the soul. It's good for your general well-being. Just to play a little bit. Take your mind off things, customize, or even if you don't customize, just play, just pose, or just getting online, looking at pictures of other people's dioramas and customs and everything, and getting a little good feeling going on in the community. I'm just saying, spread some love, because everyone knows we could use more positivity more often.